Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on July the 16th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. Okay, so in terms of the data that came out today, or the news that came out today, we saw a really positive statement from Bank of Canada, who said that there would be a sharp increase or a sharp improvement in the economy in this quarter. So as a result of that, Canadian dollar really shot up. And then coming up here, we have employment data out of Australia, and we are looking for or expecting an increase in the numbers here. And if that's the case, then we are likely to see a positive impact on Australian dollar. Negative, if it misses the expectations, I wouldn't expect much of a change there. So right now we are seeing that the negative data is not having as much impact. So, but the positive data is having more of an impact. So if the numbers are higher than expected, I would expect the Australian dollar here to go up. Now, we do also have Chinese data here, and Chinese data tends to have an impact on Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. So if this is better than expected, the GDP numbers here, then that will have a positive impact on Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Coming up here on Thursday, an important day here. So first of all, we have employment numbers for UK right in the morning here. So in this case, if the numbers are above expectations, again, expect a positive impact on British pound. And then we also have Bank of England credit condition survey. We have ECB. This is very important here. At this point, not really expecting much in terms of change in terms of the monetary policy here. However, the main focus will be how ECB views the economy. If they have similar wordings or comments like Bank of Canada did, and they expect a sharp recovery, that will be positive for euro. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's also ECB press conference shortly after. And then we have retail sales numbers here for the US here. So these numbers, if they're positive, are likely to have a positive impact on the stock market. So right now, we have seen the stock market has been going back and forth a bit. Yesterday, we did see a news article that said that the vaccine trials were having a positive impact, and the antibodies were being formed in the patients that they were tested on, and we did see stock market react to that. But the reaction wasn't as big as I would have expected. So so we'll have to keep an eye on the stock markets as to how they react here. But positive numbers here will definitely help. And that is it for Thursday here. Let's go on to our charts. We'll start off with euro dollar here. So euro, we did see euro go up. However, there's a large pin on the top. So my bias here is neutral. Right now, price is into resistance here. So if you look back, this is an important support resistance level coming all the way from right over here, going all the way back into 2018. So I would watch out for that. We are almost close to the highs here before the big drop. So neutral for now. And once we see, just need to zoom in here. Okay, so I would take a look at what happens at 1.1450. If the price struggles there, then chances are we are going to see a drop. So watch out for that. Neutral bias for the time being. I'm looking for a move back towards 1.1450, and that would be the critical level for us to watch. Pound dollar here, this one is sideways. We see for a number of days here, price hasn't really done a whole lot. Today's candle close is neutral. There's a large pin on top. There is bullishness in the candle, but the large pin on top just makes it neutral. So neutral bias here, I am basically expecting price to go back and forth in this range for the time being. So price has been stuck in this range and still looking for a range bound move here. So neutral bias for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, we see that price has broken through our resistance level here. And now we do have a bullish candle close. So bias is bullish to neutral. We may get a pullback into 0.69. 0.70. So if it holds above that, then we're likely to see 0.6990. If it holds above that, then we're likely to see a further move to the upside here. So neutral to bullish, slightly bullish bias here for Aussie. Target here would be 0.7065. Now the concern would be the high for today. If it doesn't go through, then I would look for a reversal, because last time price was here, as we can see, it fell off and fell off quite a bit. But this was a strong support resistance level, and we are into that same support resistance level once again. So if it doesn't break today's high, chances are it will come back down. So for now, bias is neutral to slightly bullish for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one's looking bullish. We have a nice bullish candle close for the day. Next target here is 0.6600, and beyond that 0.6630. So bias is bullish for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, we saw a drop right from the top of the range, and now keep in mind price has been trading in this range for some time now, and just like many other things, it is still range bound. The comments from Bank of Canada were quite strong, and if that continues, then we may see price drop. So if the sentiment stays with Canadian dollar, then we're likely to see a drop here. So bearish bias for dollar CAD. 1.3430 is the first target, and then 1.3400 is the second target. So bias here is bearish for dollar CAD. Silver here, let's take a look at commodities. Silver is looking bullish here. We have a nice bullish candle close and heading towards our resistance here into the high back in from August of 2019. So it has recovered this big move here, and now we are basically going to the next level here. So this is looking bullish. 19.60 is the next target here for silver. Gold here, gold is range bound here. It's been going back and forth between 1818 and then 1792 level here. So for now, this one is neutral. Today's candle close is completely neutral. Now I will look for a retest of 1818. If it holds below, then we're likely to see a drop. Should it go through though, then we're looking at the next levels here. And in terms of the next move, so we have 1825, and then there's a 1860. So there is plenty of room to the upside here. So bias is neutral to slightly bullish. 1818 is the first target, and then we have 1825. The only concern here is it's going right into this resistance level, and if it doesn't break through, we could see a turnaround. For now, though, bias is bullish. I'm sorry, neutral to bullish. Oil here, oil is also pushing higher. Today, OPEC memory representatives, my apologies, met, and basically the agenda was that they are holding on to, or they're going to stick with the cuts that they have put into place, and that's a positive thing. So we have seen a bit of a move higher. It hasn't broken through the resistance here though. So all in all though, price is still, it's been stuck in this range here for quite some time, and in this larger range for since May, for a couple of months here. So for now, neutral to slightly bullish bias, 14.70 is the target. And only if it goes through that, we're looking at 43.50. For now, though, this is more a range-bound move at the moment. So neutral to slightly bullish bias here. Copper here. Copper is looking bearish. Price has given us a nice bearish engulfing candle here. So looking for a drop. Keep in mind, it's right into the support. So we have to make sure that it closes below that for it to continue. Next target is 2.82. And then we have 2.80. So bias is bearish for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin has been stuck in this range for some time. Slightly bearish candle close here, so I would look for a bit of a move to the downside. 89.50 is the target. Looking at looking at our equities here, S&P 500. So equities have been overall, they've been trading in a range here for some time, since May here. Now it's into the top of that range. So if you take this away, this is the range that equities have been trading in, or at least S&P 500 has been trading in, and now it's right into that resistance. So bias right now is neutral, and because now we do have a bullish candle close, but if it doesn't go through, if it gets stuck into the resistance here, then we'd be looking for price to drop. So we did have this nice bullish move to the upside, and as we can see, even though we had a nice solid bullish candle close, it had dropped. Now we'll have to see, does it do the same thing, or are we in a better situation now, which means we will see price continue through. At this point, it will be hard to say. So neutral bias. Should it go through, though, we have 32.61. And then beyond that, we have 3,300 essentially. So for now, bias is neutral because we may get a move back. As long as it holds below 32.35, we're looking for a drop. But once it goes through there, those are the next two targets to the upside. So neutral to slightly bullish here for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, Nasdaq is looking neutral. We see that price hasn't really done a whole lot over the last couple of days. It's been back and forth. It's been choppy. So right now, I will look for a move towards 10,550. If it holds above here, then chances are we see a turnaround. So for now, bias is a neutral here for Nasdaq. 10,550 will be the first target. And then we have Dow Jones here. Dow Jones is looking slightly more bearish here, so neutral bias here. There's a large pin, which means it rejected that resistance level, and we may see a drop back here into the low of today, which is 26,700. And then for it to really come back into this range here, we would need to see a drop. So neutral bias here. 26,700 is the first target, and should it continue through, 26,420 will be the next one. So neutral bias here for Dow Jones. DAX here, DAX is right into this resistance, and DAX is also sort of traded in this range here for since May here for a while. And now it's right into that resistance. So bias is neutral here. Today's candle close is neutral, but it is pushing into the resistance, which means once we see it go through, next target is 13,145. But the critical level here would be the resistance for today. If it doesn't go through, then we're likely to see a move back down here. So for now, bias is neutral to slightly bullish. If it goes through the resistance, next target is 13,145. And then we have our FTSE here. This is looking bullish. Next target is 63.50. So bullish bias for FTSE. And then Japanese Nikkei here. Nikkei looks quite neutral here. We have a spinning top candle setup here. In this case, it's neutral. So we'll have to see how it reacts to the support and resistance. So it's right into the support right here at 22,780, and then there's resistance at 23. So in a very kind of narrow range there. So neutral bias for the time being. And if it goes through the support, I will look for a move back into 22,500. So neutral bias. As long as it holds below 23,000, I would look for a bit of a drop. Once it goes through, though, there is room to the upside. In that case, first target is 23,165, and it could go all the way into 23,300. So neutral bias for Nikkei. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.